how's it going? Thanks for checking out the channel. I'm going to be cooking some flat iron steaks tonight. I get my daughter in the background making cupcakes for Halloween. Flat iron steaks, you may have heard of them, you may not. I hadn't heard of them until not too long ago. It's sort of an anomaly of a cut. It comes from the shoulder of the cow, which is typically very chewy meat. This particular cut, the way the butchers cut it now, it actually comes out really tender. It comes out really good. I didn't believe it would be as tender as it was. I bought some probably 2 years ago and cooked it up, and it's really good. So there's not much to do to trimming them. If you look, here's the flat irons here. The way this comes as one muscle, and for years, the way they trim these was this is how your flat iron comes out of the steer. And there's a very tough membrane that runs between these two pieces, like really tough. You can make like rope out of it. And they used to cut these across like this, so every single piece had some of that tough membrane. Well, they figured out over time that if you just filleted this like a fish, like you were skinning a fish, and took out that membrane, you get a really tender cut. Now, I happen to have crossed a lazy butcher who left the tendon in, so I'm gonna have to take all this white out myself, which isn't really that big a deal. But if you happen to buy flat iron and that is there, you definitely have to take it off. So to go with this for the meal, I'm doing canned potatoes. Now, I know you're probably saying, why on earth would you serve canned potatoes with a steak? But I'll tell you something about these. They have a different flavor than regular potatoes. They're shelf stable, they last forever. They're really handy to have in your cupboard, and they come out pretty good if you treat them right. So for seasoning on this, I'm doing Red Robin original seasoning. And I'm going to add garlic powder and some dry parsley just before I pull the potatoes off the griddle. I'm doing that because if I put this on when I start cooking, both of these are going to burn and end up somewhat black and acrid. So that's the plan for the potatoes. Don't sell these guys short. They're pretty good. Give them a shot. Nothing too special about the steak. Season it up however you like. I usually cut these in 3 or 2, depending on how hungry the person is eating. Medium griddle, pull them off whenever you, however you want them cooked. I pull mine about 128 degrees, which is medium. So, and they are going to take a little longer than you think. You see how thin they are. You think they're going to cook really fast. You give yourself a little bit of extra time because they do take a little longer to cook than I expected. The potatoes you want to start before the steak. Steak total time is probably 12 minutes. Potatoes total time is probably around 20. So I'm going to get all that ready and throw it on the griddle. And I'll see you out there. I would try this if I was you. It's really good. If you do try it, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Flat iron steak.